Hello Cowboys Nation, and welcome to another exciting video. Without further ado, let's dive into the latest round of news from America's team. The Dallas Cowboys have made a significant move to open the 2025 offseason, and there's plenty of intrigue surrounding their decisions. For the past 6 months, and particularly in the past week, one of the most talked about storylines surrounding the Cowboys has been their quarterback decisions. The biggest headline has undoubtedly been the decision to make Dak Prescott the highest-paid player in the history of the NFL just before the start of the 2024 season. While that move garnered much attention, there were other decisions in the quarterback room that raised eyebrows. Most notably, the Cowboys' handling of the Trey Lance trade in 2023 left many scratching their heads. Lance, who had been the number 3 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, was brought into Dallas in August 2023 for a 4th-round pick. The reasoning behind this trade was never entirely clear, and much of the speculation around it centered on the idea that the Cowboys believed having the former high pick would give them leverage in negotiations with Prescott. However, Prescott effectively called the Cowboys' bluff by securing the contract he wanted, and Lance ultimately did not beat out Cooper Rush for the backup job. When Prescott went down with a season-ending hamstring injury, it was Rush who stepped in to take over the starting role. This left Lance as an afterthought in the Cowboys' quarterback room, and in the end he only started one game, the Week 18 season finale against the Washington Commanders. It was clear that Lance did not live up to expectations, and the trade ended up being an expensive and unnecessary gamble for the Cowboys. With both Rush and Lance set to be free agents as this season comes to a close, the Cowboys are effectively entering 2025 with no clear backup behind Prescott. On Monday, however, Dallas made a move to address this issue, at least temporarily. The Cowboys signed journeyman quarterback Will Grier to a contract extension after his time spent on the practice squad and a brief appearance on the active roster during Week 18. It's a minimal deal, and Grier's contract is not guaranteed, but it's clear that the Cowboys value him. Grier was with the team in 2021 and 2022 as a practice squad player and third-stringer, but his time in Dallas was cut short by the trade for Lance. With the Cowboys unlikely to re-sign Lance in free agency, the future of the backup quarterback position remains uncertain. Rush, a free agent himself, has played well enough to potentially price himself out of Dallas, so his status will be something to keep an eye on as the offseason unfolds. As the Cowboys look ahead to the 2025 season, they now face the difficult task of evaluating their roster and deciding where they need to improve. The 2024 season ended with a 23-9 loss to the Washington Commanders, and the Cowboys finished the year with a 7-10 record. With that finish, they now hold the 12th overall pick in the upcoming 2025 NFL Draft. The Cowboys front office will have plenty of decisions to make as they evaluate what their next steps should be. From coaching staff adjustments to free agency moves, the team has a lot of work ahead of them before the draft takes place in April. Today, we wanted to take a deep dive into what the Dallas Cowboys roster needs are going into the offseason and what players they could target with their first-round pick. Let's take a look at the positions of need and some possible prospects for the Cowboys to consider in the upcoming draft. Defensive tackle. The Cowboys are expected to return Motzie Smith at defensive tackle next season. However, the future of Osa Odigizua is uncertain, as he could be a key loss in free agency. If that happens, the Cowboys will need to find a new starting 3-technique defensive tackle to replace him. One potential first-round target could be Derek Harmon from Oregon. Harmon has seen his draft stock rise significantly throughout the year, particularly after transferring from Michigan State. He has shown himself to be a versatile defensive lineman capable of contributing both as a pass rusher and against the run. With his ability to play all 3 downs effectively, Harmon would provide a solid upgrade to the Cowboys' defensive line. Cornerback. The Cowboys are expected to return several key players at cornerback next season, including Darren Bland and Trayvon Diggs, who is working his way back from knee surgery. However, the depth at the cornerback position is a significant concern. Kane Carson and Josh Butler, who are both recovering from injuries, could provide some depth, but the Cowboys might need to bring in another cornerback to ensure they have a solid rotation. Jordan Lewis is another player whose future with the team could be in question, as he could be a key loss in free agency. A potential first-round target for the Cowboys could be Siobhan Revel Jr. from East Carolina. Revel has the size and length that NFL teams covet in cornerbacks, and he also possesses impressive hip fluidity and closing speed. After suffering an early-season ACL injury, his medicals will need to be evaluated, but if healthy, he would be a great fit for the Cowboys secondary. Running back. The Cowboys are expected to return Deuce Vaughn, who has shown promise in his rookie year. However, Rico Dowdle could potentially leave via free agency, leaving the Cowboys in need of another running back. While the cream of the crop in the running back class, Aston Janty, will likely be gone by the time the Cowboys pick, they could still target another back in the first round. Caleb Johnson from Iowa could be an option, and his skills make him a strong candidate for a team looking for an RB1 with three-down capability. Johnson has a prototypical build for an NFL running back and is known for his patience, vision, and ability to set up blocks. If Jandy is off the board, Johnson would be a solid consolation prize for Dallas, though they might need to trade down to get him. Offensive line. The Cowboys are expected to bring back several key players on the offensive line next season, including Tyler Smith, Tyler Baiadas, and Terrence Steele. However, there are concerns regarding the future of some of their veteran players. Zach Martin, a cornerstone of the Cowboys' offensive line for years, could be a potential loss, and Terrence Steele might be moved due to salary cap concerns. To replace them, the Cowboys could look to add a talented lineman in the first round. One potential target could be Marcus Ma from Purdue. Ma has been gaining attention as a first-round prospect due to his athleticism and versatility. He can play both guard and tackle, making him a perfect fit for a Dallas team looking for help on the offensive line. Ma's skills as an athlete could help fortify the Cowboys' line for years to come. Wide receiver. The Cowboys are expected to return CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Jonathan Mingo, and Ryan Floyd at wide receiver next season. However, the future of Brandon Cooks is uncertain, and Cavani Turpin, a restricted free agent, could also be on the move. The Cowboys might need to add another wide receiver to complement Lamb in the passing game. A potential first-round target could be Luther Burden III from Missouri. Burden is widely regarded as one of the best wide receivers in the 2025 draft class, and he could be an excellent complement to CeeDee Lamb. Burden has the speed and skill set to stretch defenses deep, but he's also effective in short and intermediate routes due to his physicality and contact balance. He's a yards-after-catch machine and could quickly become one of the best weapons in the Cowboys' offense, making him an ideal pick for the team in the first round. With the offseason approaching and many roster decisions to be made, the Dallas Cowboys have a lot to consider. Whether they address their needs through free agency, trades, or the draft, the future of the franchise will be shaped by the moves they make in the coming months.